So this is what you guys will see, and some of you already have seen it. You want to go through the Start Here section, okay? And that's the first unit you're going to have to go through. So you want to scroll down and go through this step by step. These icons here are just pages, so there's nothing to click on. When you get to this icon where it says like read something, it's a file. So this is a file icon. I hope you can all see that. Okay, so if you click on that, you'll get to the reading. Okay, so just go through this. Read through it one time. It should be plenty. You don't have to study it or anything. Just gets you an idea of what we're doing and why we're doing it. And then when you see this kind of an icon, okay, this is a little module. So you want to click on that, and it opens up a lot of steps, but these are usually very short steps. So I'm required to put something about the course in here, like the course description. So you can scan through that. It's very similar to the syllabus, okay, which is the next section. So you can see, you can click, one by one through this list of stuff. And here are the syllabi. You usually want to read that to kind of get a feel for how the class is graded and structured. In the college courses, you'll always get a syllabus. There's some distance learning links. Okay, so if you click on something, right, and not much is happening, look for the click to launch. Okay, click to launch. If you click to launch, it takes you to that site, okay, or that place. So you'll see that occasionally in the distance learning platform, the click to launch. Then you go to the next step, again, another click to launch. All right, so you go through these different steps in our Start Here module. Go through as many of these as you can. Actually, you have to go through all of them because you will have an assignment on this, okay? And it's a simple assignment, and you might want to print out the assignment first to and then go through this module. So where is the assignment? Well, that's in our first learning module. So I put all the assignments and labs and everything in this section called learning modules, okay? So if you click on there, you can see the different learning modules, okay? So you start on the top and you work your way down and try to keep up with the calendar. So let me talk about the calendar real quick. That's your friend. That'll help you keep on task. So if I click on the calendar shows up for you guys, and you can see when things are due. Okay? So on Monday, you've got the orientation computer backup assignment due, and the Start Here assignment is due. But you got to do some stuff before you can do those assignments. So you can always go find the assignments either by clicking on them in the calendar. I'll show you that. Right, so this is the computer backup plan. You click on it, it takes you to the assignment. Okay, the assignment is also part of the learning module. So if you go through the learning module, you'll see where this assignment falls in the order of things. Okay, so every assignment gives you a due date. Okay, so this one's due Monday at 10 o'clock at night. It's best to turn these things earlier than later. Try to get them done before you go home from school. So on Monday, you guys can finish writing that up. It's not real hard. Okay, so how do you do it? Well, it tells you what the instructions are here. So it says answer the following questions. So you can either write these down or you can copy and paste them into a Word doc. So you can do that by just dragging your mouse over it, okay, and then doing the copy command, and it's different for different computers. On a Macintosh, it's Command C, and I think on a PC it's Control C. So I just copied that. And then you might want to open up your Word document, okay, and paste it in, and I already did that here. So you should be able to see that. Okay, and then you want to add your name to all assignments with a date, the assignment title. Okay, and then you can start answering the questions. So on this first assignment, it's pretty easy. It says, where is there another computer with capabilities you need so you can access when you need it? So if you have a computer at home, you might want to say that. Public libraries have computers. Computer lab at school. Your mom's laptop, something like that. So you can put down what computers you have as a backup. And do you have more than one computer as a backup? And then how will you back up your written work? So once you write something, you want to save it someplace so you don't lose it. Okay, and then the next question is write all this information down and then submit it as an assignment and label it computer backup plan. Okay, so once you're done, writing up your assignment, you want to save it someplace. Okay, I'm just going to dump it in my documents section. I give it a name, Plyle, my last name, underscore, and then the assignment is backup plan. Okay, and then I save it. Okay. So now it's saved. If you go back to your distance learning, you need to submit it. So you got to turn it in. How do you turn it in? Well, you can attach a file. Can you guys all see that? Yeah? This is important, right? You want to attach a file. So you go to Browse My Computer. You got to find that file you just saved. You might want to put it on a stick, right? Or put it in a Dropbox so you don't lose it. Or, put it on your hard drive. But, you definitely want to submit it once you're done writing it. So now you can go find it in wherever you left it, right? Whatever your file is. And I don't know where it is. There it is, my backup plan. And then once you find your file, you hit open or submit, however it looks on your computer, and it puts it on the attachment. It puts the attachment in distance learning in Blackboard. Let's say you picked the wrong file. Oops, I picked the wrong one. This is the other one, or the first one I wrote. This isn't my final version. You can always select do not attach. So you can get out of it, and it says, are you sure? And you say, yeah, I'm sure. And then you can go back, find the correct file, okay, and attach it. So once you're done attaching your assignment, okay, you can write a comment. Maybe I had trouble with this question, or I think if you want to add any comments, you can do that. You don't have to. If you're happy with your assignment and you're ready to turn it in, you hit submit. Now, if you don't hit submit, it's like you didn't turn it in. You left it in your car or something, right? So you got to hit the submit button. And then it goes ahead and submits it for you. Okay? And then when I go to grade it, I'll see it like this and I'll grade it. And I'll give you a grade on it. Okay? So I usually try to grade things within a week of being turned in. I'm going to try to do better than that. And then you'll know how you're doing. All right, so that's an example of going through the module, finding your assignment, doing your assignment, and turning it in. Okay, once you do one or two of them, they'll be pretty easy. And you can do it from home, you can do it from the library, wherever there's a computer, you can do this stuff. So do you guys have any questions about that? Yes.
What does that application report do?
Good question. So if you want to find out when something's due, you go to the calendar, right, which is over on the left side. You click on calendar, and then you go look for it. So let's see. There's an applications MEMS assignment. Okay. And that's not due until the 7th. So I'm giving you a lot of time to finish that one. You're welcome. So the backup plan's due on Monday, and then there's this other assignment that's very similar or very easy as well, but you just got to do the prep reading. Um, Let me go to that assignment in here. Trying to find where it is. Well, let's just go through this module. So every learning module, once you finish the start here, then you'll start doing the learning modules, and they're going to be in order. Okay. So the first module you need to go through is this lecture in Lab 01, and basically this is just an overview. Some of you already saw the lecture that I gave the other day. So these are the lecture notes, right? Lecture notes. If you weren't there when I gave this, you can open that up and read through it. Okay, you can also watch the video. I posted it on YouTube. So that's the YouTube link. Okay, so you can do that. If you haven't seen it, or if you forgot or slept through it, whatever the case may be. Once you go through that orientation stuff, there's an assignment, right? The backup plan. I already submitted it, so I'm looking at it as if I'm a student. So if you've already submitted an assignment, it'll show up in this screen. If you haven't submitted it yet, it'll show up in that other screen where you can go ahead and do it. Now, if you want to do it again, you can always say start new, and it comes back to here, and you can redo your assignment if you're not happy with it, okay? Usually you get 2 redos, right? You can submit it once, and then if you want to update it, sometimes I'll let you submit it a second time, all right? And then once you're done with that, you take the orientation quiz. Now, again, this is one of these things that it doesn't open automatically. So you click to launch, and it gives you the instructions for the quiz. Now, once you start the quiz, you got to finish the quiz. Okay? Here are the instructions. It tells you when it's due. There's a due date right here. Hope you guys can see that. So this is due on the 29th by 10 o'clock. And you can't start it after that. Okay, so you've got to start it before that and finish it. All right, so when you're ready to take the quiz, you can hit begin. If you're not ready to take the quiz, you hit cancel. Okay, so let's take the quiz. All right, so it gives you an hour to do it. It's telling you how much time is left. Okay, and it also tells you in this window that you can take this quiz 3 times. All right, and then this is the first time you're taking it. So some quizzes I'll let you take more than once. All right, and I usually do that early on because people are still getting used to taking the quizzes online, and they may forget to submit an answer, or they make a mistake and they want to do it again. So in the beginning you'll get 1, 2, or you'll probably get 2 or 3 attempts allowed. Okay. So here are the questions. So this is pick the right answer question, right? You click on the little button. Okay, some true, false, multiple choice. All right, so you'll have to go through and take this quiz. So I'm going to just randomly pick stuff. All right. And it automatically saves the questions for you. You can go back and say, oops, I meant to click on this one. Right, and you can save it again, correct your error. And then once you're done taking the quiz, again, you have to save it and submit it. So you always have to save and submit things. Otherwise, you don't finish it. It's like you don't turn it in. You're in the class, you filled out the quiz, but you never gave it to the teacher. So you've got to save and submit. It always asks you, are you sure? And you say, yeah, I'm sure. So you submit it. Okay, some of the quizzes you can see how you did right away. If they're like all multiple choice, it's automatically graded. So let's take a look at how I did. So I clicked on it. I got the first question wrong. I got the second 2 right, and I just randomly pick stuff. I don't suggest doing that for quizzes. You usually get more wrong than right. And then the summary score is here, right? So this attempt you did, you got 20 out of 30 points. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward, and I think you'll get used to it once you go through it. And on this orientation quiz, you guys, you can kind of help each other out on it, right? So you can learn how to take the quiz, okay? So it shouldn't be too hard. It'll take you a few minutes once you read through the stuff. Okay, any questions on that? Y'all good? All right. So when you're done with your quiz, you say, well, I want to go back to where I was. So you can see these things on top, right? These are called breadcrumbs. So this is where we're at. The one all the way to the right is where we're at. This is the one we were at before we clicked on the test. So let's go ahead and click on that. Now we're back into this learning module. And it starts us at the overview again. But you say, oh, I already took the orientation quiz, so the next thing is the syllabus quiz. Okay, so you should look at the syllabus, or one of you can print it out and kind of glance through it, and then you can go ahead and take the quiz on that. It's pretty simple. I'm just trying to make sure you guys are reading the stuff. And then the rest of this in this section are how-to videos. So you may or may not want to watch these now, but it's good to know that they're there. So there's a little video on how to put figures and figure captions in your Word documents, how to put a word or a table in your document. And you'll need this when you write your lab report, right? If you don't know how to do that. Some of you already know this stuff. And how to write a bibliography is in there. So those are resources, okay? And I'm pretty sure that these four videos right after it are the same video links, okay? So you can see as you click down it, you get to the different parts of the module. This last part here doesn't have any assignments or anything in it. So just remember it's there, and then when you need to put a figure or something in your Word doc, you can go back and watch that. Or you can Google it and find your own video to show you how to do that if you don't know how. Okay? Or ask a classmate. That's always fair as well. All right, so okay, I just went through that first module. So let's go back. That was Lecture Lab 01, so we just finished that. Now, some of you have been asking about the MEMS applications. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff here, but it's a lot of resources for you to do your assignment. Okay, so the first thing is the applications overview, and this is a reading. Okay, so maybe your teacher can print these out if you prefer to have paper and read it, you know, or you can just read it online, whatever works best for you. So you want to read through this thing, right? Maybe make notes on it. If you know, you can use an app for that, or you can take separate notes on the computer, or even by hand is good. Take a few notes. Try to remember the different terms and phrases. Okay, and then the next thing is a short lecture. So again, this didn't launch, but you can click on this button and it'll take you to the lecture. Okay, so this is about 13 minutes long. It's a lecture done by one of my coworkers here at the Southwest Center for Microsystems Education. And you know, it's nice and short. It's not too long, and it basically covers what's in the reading. So if you read the material and then watch the lecture, you should be pretty good to go to the next step, which is the quiz. So the quiz is over the reading, and you do this in school all the time. So you click to launch the quiz. If you click too early, say, oh, I'm not ready yet, you can cancel out of it. Okay, so this quiz is due on the 2nd of October by 10 o'clock. Okay, so you should be able to do it in one shot. It's not too bad. Let's go ahead and I'm going to hit begin and take a look at how many times you get. So on this one, multiple attempts are not allowed. Now, if your computer crashes or something in the middle, or you mess up, you can send me a message within Blackboard and ask me to reset your quiz for you. And I'm okay with doing that. But I suggest you try to take the quiz much earlier, like the day before, and make sure everything is working okay. You shouldn't have a problem. This quiz only has a few questions in it, 10 questions. You have a whole hour to do it. You can refer to your notes if you want to, okay? But I suggest you do all your reading and everything first so that you can answer all of these questions. So some of them are, typing in an essay answer. Others are multiple choice. Okay, and I'll be grading the essays myself. And then you have, matching. So here's an example of a matching question. So if you click on these little arrows here, you get choices. Okay, so this first one is an optical display, is a DLP or digital light processor. Which one of these three components matches that the best? And I'll give you the answer for this one. It's C, the DMD. Okay, now when you take it, it might not be C because sometimes the answers are scrambled. Okay, so don't try to work off of each other on these quizzes because the questions may appear in a different order or be scrambled. All right, so you should do these on your own. Okay, so that's how you do these, and you have to match each one of these somehow. I'm just guessing, so right, you do the matching thing. And then there's another question. This is a three-parter, so it's an essay answer. So you got to write in complete sentences, so that I understand that you understand the answer. Don't write one or two words because you probably will get it wrong. So you know how to do complete sentences, I'm sure, by now. You're in your last couple of years in high school, so that should work out. And then again, multiple choice questions, fill in the blank, and essay types. And when you're all done, you'll hit save and submit. It says, are you sure? And here it's telling me, and you probably can't see this because the writing's really small, but here it's saying the following questions may be incomplete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, because I haven't answered them yet. So sometimes it'll warn you if something's not right, or if you missed a question or didn't save a question. If you want to just blow it off and not turn that question in, you can always hit OK, and it'll submit it. And and the fill in the blank ones will say needs grading until I grade it, and the multiple choice, it'll give you the answer, or it'll let you know if you've got it right or not. Okay. All right, so that gives you an idea how that works. So do you guys have any questions on that piece? Okay, so it's just, you follow the pattern, right? So I'm going to go back to the application stuff. I think we just looked at this quiz. And then there's the paper you guys probably have already worked on, right? So here's an example of a good paper. Okay. So on this assignment, you'll write your paper, and then you'll answer some questions, post-activity questions. And you put both of them together. And then you also want your references or your bibliography. You can call it bibliography. You can use the word references. And you want to use a certain type of style, APA, MLA, one of those. And there's stuff online that'll help you write them for you as well. Okay. And then there's the assignment. So when you write your paper up, you can see this is worth 250 points. Again, you will write it all up, answer all the questions. These are all the detailed information. Okay, so let's go back up to here. So it tells you it's due on the 7th by 10 o'clock. I'm trying to make everything due at 10 o'clock. So you guys, when you look at the calendar and see something due on a specific day, you know it's due at 10 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to try to make sure I always do that. Occasionally, assignments will have a rubric that you can look at, and this is how I grade it. So it's really helpful to go look at that rubric. You can click on it, okay, and it tells you how I'm going to grade it and what the percentages are, okay? So if you turn it in late, right, you're going to lose 25% or 10%, excuse me, on this one. If you don't do the post-activity questions, okay, you're going to lose 20%. Okay, if you don't do the references, you're going to lose 10%. So you can see exactly how much everything is worth. Okay, so most of it, of course, is the bulk of the paper is worth 42%, and then the formatting, put your name on it, a title, the date, all of that stuff. That's worth about 8%. So you can see how much these things are worth. Okay, so even if you're late, still turn it in because you're only going to lose 10%. Now, if it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days late, then I may not accept it. But if you get it in within a day or two after the due date, I'll still accept it. And you may lose some points, though. All right. And I do want you to put a graphic in there. All right. And that's worth 10%. Okay. So you want to put a caption and you want to reference your graphic to get full credit for the graphic. All right. So that's the rubric. So when you see rubrics, you want to click on them and take a look at how they're going to be graded so you don't forget something. Any questions on rubrics? Okay, you guys look like you're falling asleep. All right. So, and this is all recorded so you can watch it again if you forget something. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get out of this. You're going to have a posting. So after you write your paper, you're going to go ahead and go to the discussion board and you click to launch that. You're going to create a thread. When you hit create a thread, the instructions appear. So on the posting, you want to write about 1 or 2 paragraphs that summarizes your paper. So you want to say what that MEMS device is that you found, what did you find most interesting, and give some information where you can find out more stuff. So if another student reads it or if I read it or your teacher, we can go ahead and go look at it and find out more stuff. And then try to read at least 3 other postings from other students and respond to them. Okay, you need to add a little more than just saying, "Oh, that was cool." You need to say why you think it's cool, and why you think that device is useful or why it's not useful. Okay, and you will be graded on this. Okay, so the way you type it up is you put in some kind of a title. So for your posting, you might say MEMS accelerometers used in Wii controllers, right? You might find that interesting. And then you write your paragraph here, okay? And you can cut and paste stuff in if you want to. Write it up in Word and then cut and paste it into here. And then when you're all ready, you just hit submit. Okay, if you want to attach a file, you can, but I suggest you just type up the answers to the posting. Okay, I'm not going to submit it because I don't want to clutter up the posting, the discussion thread. Now, once you've posted something, then you should be able to see everybody else's postings and reply to them. Okay, so try to get this in earlier so you can reply to other people's stuff. Okay, so any questions on discussion boards? So I'm sure you'll have some when you get there. And I think between, your teacher and yourselves, you can probably figure all of that out. Okay, so we're still in applications. I'm going to show you a couple more things. There's the paper. We just talked about that. Okay, there's the posting. And then from 8 down, there's a bunch of cool stuff that you might want to watch if you haven't done your paper yet to give you more ideas. So this is, how does a smartphone know up from down? This is the slow-mo guys from GE. They talk about MEMS switches, and they do some high-speed video of certain things. So that might be interesting to you. And then there's online sites that you can search on. So this is a site called Solid State Technology, and they have a whole section on MEMS. So you might find something interesting in there. Small Times is another good resource. Okay, so I've given you some links to help you find interesting articles and things. Or you can just use Google. Google's real good, or YouTube to get you started. All right, so these are a whole bunch of different links you can try to find ideas for your paper. Okay, so that's what all of these are for. They're not all assignments, okay, so don't panic. They're resources for you. All right. So that's about it for this learning module. I think we've gone through, MEMS applications. And there's one other one I want to show you real quick. I think we still have a few minutes. And this is something you're going to work on next week. This is the digital mirror device you're going to learn about. So there's a hands-on part. You're going to print this out, and I'll be talking with your teacher about this. He's already gone through this, I believe, one time. But I'll chat with him so he can help you go through this lab next week during the day. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to figure out how big a digital mirror device is and how big the little mirrors are. So, this is what you'll do in lab. You'll fill out that. And then you'll turn in the worksheet, okay? And you'll have a lab write-up that you'll write up and turn in and answer all these questions. Okay, that's due on October 1st of next week. And the worksheet is due, let's see, September 30th, because you do that before the write-up. All right, so what I want you to do this weekend is go through all the orientation stuff. Try to get those things done before they're due. And then watch some of these videos because they're pretty cool. In fact, let me just show you a little preview of this.
DLP technology is based on an optical semiconductor called the Digital Micromirror Device, or DMD. The DMD chip is an extremely precise light switch that enables light to be modulated digitally. It does this with a rectangular array of microscopic mirrors, which corresponds to light in a projected image. Coordinated with a digital signal, a light source, and a projection lens, these mirrors can reproduce video and graphics with incredible fidelity. When a digital video or graphic signal enters the DLP system, it activates a tiny electrode beneath each DMD mirror, causing that mirror to tilt either toward or away from the light source. When a mirror is tilted toward the light source, it reflects a single white pixel through a projection lens and onto a screen. Tilted away from the light, the mirror is switched off and its corresponding pixel space is dark. Each DMD mirror can be switched on and off thousands of times per second.
So I think it'll look better on your screens if you run it directly from the distance learning site. So that gives you an idea of what these little micro mirror devices are like, and I'll probably talk more about it next week to you. I think I'll let you guys have the Monday and Tuesday to catch up on all the work and maybe go through some of this stuff. And then on Wednesday, I can see if you have any questions on anything, if that works out for you all. So I don't want to take all your class time away from you. But like I said, just go through this. This is a picture of the DMD device and how it works. This is how an individual mirror is, and they're very, very small. So in your lab, you're going to figure out how big this is. okay, or how small it is, by doing some measurements, okay? So you can see all the different pictures and how these things work. Now, all the movie theaters now use this as their technology of choice for projecting movies on the screen, okay? So, that's a really cool device. I suggest that you study this one because it's very interesting, and you guys are around it all the time when you go to your movie theaters. So, and a lot of your projectors in your room use this device. I think your teacher's projection system uses a DMD as well. Okay, that's a digital mirror device. So again, here's the calendar. Make sure you always look at the calendar. Check your CNM email, because when I make announcements, they go through the CNM email. So make sure you can get onto that. You can also click on announcements. Okay, so you can see when I post things or add new things, I'll send an announcement. The latest one is we have a Facebook page for high school students. Okay, so how do you find that? It's in web links. Okay, so you got learning modules, discussions, and web links in the course content. If you go to web links, again, these are a bunch of cool links that you might want to explore so you know what's there in case you need it later for an assignment. But here is MEMS for high school students. So you can click on that. I'm not going to log in, but you can see, people have been posting stuff on here, and photos and stuff. And I think you can post things there and like it and all of that. So I suggest you guys check this out every once in a while. Okay. All right. I think I am done. Are there any questions? Yeah, work on stuff, work with your friends, go through it together. I mean, there's no reason you can't work together on this stuff and bang it out. Talk to each other about the questions and the answers. I think you'll learn more that way. Okay? Try not to be Team Xerox, where one person answers and everybody copies. Then you're not learning anything and it won't help you. All right? So, yeah, speak up a little bit.
On one of the topics you asked us to tell about ourselves, can we do that on the discussion page?
Yeah, introduce yourself.
Yeah, that's on the discussion page, right?
Yes. Yeah, I can go back and let's see where that is. You can go to discussions usually and find it, and that's introduce yourself. So that's one way to go to a discussion, and there should be a link in the module as well. So you would go here. Here is the instructions, and then you would create a thread. Okay. So you put a subject there, say hello, I'm Fred, or I'm whatever, and then you type something about yourself here, and give us your name, your major, or what major you're thinking about doing if you don't have a major yet, right? Your favorite book and movie and why you would recommend it to someone, and then the room or environment that you're in when you do this posting. So if you're at home, describe the room you're in, and if it's a good place to do assignments and stuff. And then once you're done with your posting and you hit submit, right? You always got to turn it in, hit submit. Then you can also look at other people's postings and reply to theirs. Okay, so you might find someone that has similar interests. For example, if you're a snowboarder, there might be another student that says, "Oh, I like to snowboard too. Let's go snowboarding or something." So you'll find people with similar interests, and it's just a way of me learning about you, and then also for you to learn about your classmates. And we do that a lot in college on these online classes where we have discussion boards. So that's another reason why I want you guys to get used to doing this. It'll get you some more skills for succeeding in your other college classes down the road. Okay? Any other questions?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to give you Monday and Tuesday off from me so you can use class time to do work, and maybe you can go to your computer lab. And then I'll probably be sending Nate some of the stuff for the labs for next week, so you can and maybe going through some of the materials with him, so that you guys can do the lab. Okay.
Hey, Matt, if you can do it this weekend, because Monday I'm going to be out, but they can get to the lab.
Okay, so yeah, they can, it doesn't take real long to do. You can probably start on it on Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay? Hey,
Okay.
remember, day next week, we only got 25-minute classes. 25.
Oh, it's all week?
Yeah, it's all week.
Okay. Well, we can extend the due date on that if you guys don't get through it, but it's not too hard to do. It's a
Okay.
pretty simple one. So I'll give you some more information on that.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Okay, that's all I had.
All right, thank you. You have a good weekend.
You too. And get logged in and do some work. It's not hard once you get used to it.
All right.
Bye.